Welcome to the AI for Interior Designers podcast, where creativity meets cutting edge technology. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of artificial intelligence and explore how it's revolutionizing the interior design industry. From AI-powered design tools to the latest trends and innovations, we've got you covered. So plug in, relax, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Welcome to AI for Interior Designers podcast. P.S. This intro was written by and voiced by AI to sound like your host, Jenna Gaidusek. Designers, welcome back for episode 33 of AI for Interior Designers podcast. I am your host, Jenna Gaidusek, and if you're watching me today on YouTube and not listening to the podcast, I'm a hot mess compared to what I usually am when I have to be on camera. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I do not feel great today, but that's okay, because the whole premise of today's episode is showing up and doing what you got to do, even when you don't feel like it. And that really kind of projects us into marketing strategies and consistency for the new year. So I know a lot of people are, getting ready. If you're listening to this right now in fall, winter time of the end of the year in 2024, hopefully you've already started to do some strategic planning for what your goals are and how you're going to reach them for the new year. If you haven't yet, time to get on it right after the holiday here. Thanksgiving is coming up next week as I'm recording this. But I've been doing my planning for probably the past 3 weeks now for what I'm going to be doing in the new year. So it was funny. I was talking to my 8-year-old last night, and she was like, oh yeah, something this year. And I was like, oh, in my mind, I'm already in 2025. Like, this year is done for me. I planned this year in the summer, so now I'm already in next year. And people are planning for 2026, like, larger companies, like they've already planned for 2025. So consider that when you are starting to think about what your goals are going to be and how you're going to reach those goals in the new year, because life is crazy right now, right? Like, the world is crazy right now. There's so many unpredictable things, but the only thing that you have that you can control is what you're going to do to get out there and make money and get new clients. And that should be the priority right now. Like, I don't know what your day-to-day looks like. Hopefully it's busy. Hopefully it's busy with earning money, and doing things that could potentially earn you more money or to move forward in your career, and not just like silly little tasks that you make yourself busy with that in the end are not going to help. And we all do that. Okay. Like, we all find something and we get stuck on it and we're like, I'm going to hyper focus on this for the next week. But really, in the end, it's like, did that pay any of my bills? Did that help me to make new connections? Did that help me set up for my future self? I don't know. Those are some questions that you might want to be asking yourself. So, I use AI, of course, to plan and to do marketing. So I figured today I would kind of talk about the strategies, the tools that I use, so that you can begin, if you haven't already, thinking about strategic planning for the new year. And like I said when I started this episode, I don't feel great today. Like, I just am having one of those days where I'm a lady and it's one of those days. So you all know. But it doesn't negate the fact that I still have to show up. I still have an obligation, and I still have to record this podcast because I promised myself and I promised my viewers that I would do that. Okay. I don't care how many views I'm getting on these videos right now or this podcast. Literally none of that matters to me. Okay. Like, I knew it was going to be really slow to start a podcast. I have now reached 33 episodes, which apparently, after doing some research, is now a top 1%, because the majority of podcasts actually never get past episode 21, which is interesting. They all kind of start to fall off. Then the top 1% are the ones that have posted more than 21 episodes. So here we are, episode 33. with consistency, I honestly don't even know when I started this, and I know I've missed a few, but I was busy. I was traveling, and recovering from the traveling with those few other ones. And it just, I think I've missed maybe like 4 weeks out of the entire time that I've been doing this, and I post every single week. So the how do I want to put this? The consistency in the drive behind starting a podcast or staying consistent on Instagram, which is another challenge that I put, in my path this year. So I started posting on my Instagram every day. So I challenged myself to post, and at first it was an AI interior inspo. So I was posting like inspiration, and then generally I was just kind of like, okay, like I want to change this up a little bit because AI is way more than generative AI and the pretty pictures. So I want to show like tips and tricks and all that stuff. But either way, I want to post every single day. Now, I missed one day in the entire year. And that was because I thought it had posted and it didn't. So I had to double post the next day. Also, sometimes when we're pushing content from the AI for interior designers that Instagram, technically it's still my content. So a couple days here or there, I've like let that one be my only post and not also posted. Now, the reason why I am doing this and why I challenged myself on the first of the year, it was actually very spontaneous. I was just like, what am I going to do? Like it's the first of the year. It's a fresh start. I want to do something and I want to challenge myself. When I challenge myself to do things consistently, it's just for me. Like I don't do it for anybody else. I do it so that I can see growth and I can see if it worked or not. You can do anything for as long as you put your mind to it, right? But finding the time, finding the consistency, getting in the groove, that's the hardest part, is to still be excited about it. Here we are, almost the end of the year, and I have posted every single day. So, finding the groove there and like really sticking with it, it's hard. It is so hard. And unfortunately, the majority of you listening would never do that. You would never stick to an entire year of posting every single day. Some of you might do it because, fall off after a month or two and, kind of be like, well, it wasn't working. But no, it probably wasn't working after 2 months. How would you know? There's no metric for you to really see what the growth is. So after I posted every single day to my Instagram, here we are. I'm shooting this in November 20th, 2024. So we're almost 12 months in, 11 months in of consistent posting every single day. I can truly say that that is probably one of the biggest contributors to the success that I've had in the past year. That and my goal or my mantra for 2024 was yes. It was literally just say yes to every opportunity and don't turn anything down if it's feasible. So like if I wasn't double booked, I was doing it. And that and the consistency of my Instagram and also the consistency of like starting this podcast, I proved to myself that I can do it. That's all I wanted. That is all I wanted, was to prove to myself that I could do anything that I wanted for a year. And here we are. And the success that has come with it, whether somebody says, I found you on Instagram, I found you on YouTube, I listened to your podcast, wherever they came from, the conversation always kind of comes back to, oh, your Instagram is really good and really helpful. A lot of the times when I go out and I speak now, that is one of the things that people point out is, hey, go follow her because she's posting these things and it's really helpful content and it's unique content. Now I found my niche here. I totally did, right? Like this is something that I'm passionate about. I love design. I love technology. I love AI. And I try and keep it down to earth and hopefully refreshing for you all, just because that's my perspective of it. I don't change who I am or the way that I would speak to a friend in my content that I'm sharing. So the authenticity that comes with the consistency is a winning pair, right? That is exactly what the world is needing and searching for right now when they are trying to learn something new. They're looking for educators and people in the space that are so well versed in the topic, but also comfortable speaking about it. And you can tell like the energy that they give off is just like, oh, they know their stuff and they're really good, about sharing it. And I learned so much, it might be free information now, but like when I'm ready to go hire somebody, if I have been watching that person on social media or listening to a podcast, like that's my girl or guy, like that's who I'm going to. Because I've already built that, you know, fake rapport that like I think I know them, because they have been so real and so authentic with me. So the reason why I'm telling you all these things is because these are things that have worked for me. Like, I am not special here, guys. Like, I just simply stuck with something, and that is why I got results. Okay. So, and that's why I've always gotten results. When I started the Facebook group eDesign Tribe back in 2018, I showed up every freaking day. I can't even tell you the detrimental mental part of running a Facebook group, and especially with very strong opinionated designers, that was something where like I had to walk away. Like I just mentally, like I built it, I did it, it was there and it served a purpose for what I needed. But in the end, it became something that was not a happy place anymore, and not something that I wanted to maintain anymore. So when my company was acquired by Mydoma, that was the first thing where I was like, I don't want this. I don't want this. I just, for my own mental stability, did not want to do that anymore. However, building that and the consistency that I had to be there to answer every single comment, to, engage with people. I didn't just start a Facebook group and walk away. I showed up every single day, and that's how I built my business over 4 years. You'll notice that I'm still not on TikTok. I'm not on, LinkedIn I've had, but like I am so bad at LinkedIn because like I really don't care. Like I don't care to scroll LinkedIn. It's just a lot of people like braggy about certain things, and also I don't know, it's stuffy for me. So I'll be there just for the connections, but I forgot about it for like a year, to be totally honest with you. So I'm not good at all of these socials. Like I'm just not, but I'm really good at one social at a time. So before that was Facebook, I let my Instagram kind of slide. I didn't post on my Instagram for like a year at that point. While I was building the Facebook group. So then like circling back, I was like, well, I don't want to be on Facebook anymore because and so I want to come over here on Instagram, and that's just nicer and it's kinder people, and I get to visually and I guess both visually through audio and imagery, showcase what I love. And that was just a better suited platform for me. But again, notice how I'm saying I was not consistent on all the platforms all the time. I alternated and I found my audience and I found where I felt happiest in social media. And that's where I spent my time, and where you spend your time consistently. I'm not saying 2 weeks, I'm not saying 3 months, I'm saying show freaking up every day for a year and come talk to me about your results. I think half the people here listening are really good at Instagram, right? Or social media in general. Maybe you've got a YouTube channel, maybe you're doing something like that, or you've been blogging consistently. And that's your spot, like that's your thing. Don't give that up. If it feels good, and if it makes you stay accountable and consistent, and you can really show yourself and your true self, and then that attracts the people that you're trying to attract, stick with it. Okay. Some of you are going to give up way too early and then say, well, it didn't work for me. And it's just bullshit. I'm sorry, but like you didn't give it a chance, and you will never get results if you don't stick with it and give it a chance. So what does this have to do with AI? I will say, when I first started posting every day on Instagram, I could not have done it consistently without the AI GPT that I built. So ChatGPT had first rolled out, I think I was into about 2 or 3 weeks already into January, and it rolled out the ability to create customized GPTs. So something I still use and teach every single day. So GPTs are customized, basically pre-trained transformers. So you have the full chat GPT that you could just use and go and bounce ideas. But when you upgrade to Pro for $20 a month, you have the ability to create custom GPTs. So these are like little agents, you may have heard them called, or bots, something like that. But what these guys do is you can train them on your business, your brand voice, your design style, your marketing techniques, and where you like to show up, and then help it, ask it to help you to create the content that you need that's relevant to you. So it's not like starting a new conversation every time with ChatGPT where it's like, hey, here's who I am, here's what I do, here's what I need you to help with. And then it's like super long, and then it starts like hallucinating towards the end, and you get like crazy, like discombobulated answers. This way, when you train one custom GPT to do one thing specifically, that's what it does. And it does that one thing very, very well. And then it continues to learn and get better and better the more you use it. So when I first started, I created it's called #GuruGPT. And so since a lot of the posts that I was doing when I first started in the year was AI interior inspo, I was taking the AI picture that I was going to post that day, putting it into this customized GPT, no context, and it knew to give me 30 relevant hashtags to what it sees. And also we kind of programmed some on the back, that are a little bit more customized to like what I do and where I am. And so it would do that. It would give me alt text. So that's the text that goes behind images, which helps with SEO. And it's also ADA compliance. So, visually impaired can, instead of seeing the image, it can be read to them to describe what the image is. So alt text is also available on, your website, Pinterest, all social medias for images for the most part. You would put that behind there. It would categorize in search engines now, but also in that social platform. So it would give me the alt text, and then it would give me a starting description, caption, which I never really used, but it was nice if I ever needed something to like get my ideas flowing there. So the only reason why for the first like 4 months, I was able to show up every day. By the way, I started using a scheduling program and then like stopped using that within a month because I can't get my shit together enough to be able to like actually put things into a scheduler and then like remember to schedule. And then I just am not good at that. And I know that that's not a strength of mine. It is something that I want to do and something that I every year try and do, but it doesn't work for me. So kind of flying by the seat of my pants is always the best option for me. So I post every day with whatever I did that day or did that week, So I'm always doing something. So there's always something to post. And I found that keeps it more relevant. But I still needed some hashtags, though I just heard that those are like really kind of going away for the most part in the new year. So it's not really going to be my strategy moving forward into the new year. Alt text still will be behind images. And then more of like, I'm thinking that I'm going to go more descriptive, like words, so that it's more like SEO, so search engine optimized, like phrases and words that are in my captions versus the hashtags. So gonna pivot now with that update for the new year. So I'll have to customize my GPT and kind of, say that, explain a little bit more in the caption here versus the hashtags. So that GPT held me accountable. That one kept me consistent and to a point where posting every day just became part of my day. It is like something that I have to do. So sometimes before, I try not to post after 8 because like, nobody's really on. The later I post, the less traction I get on my post, but it doesn't matter. I still posted that day. And for me, that's a win. So I don't care if I got 4 likes on the post. I don't care about likes anyway. I usually hide them anyway because I don't care. It's about who sees them. And then, it's about the people that talk to me about the content. It's like, hey, I saw that ChatGPT post that you shared on Instagram. That was a cool tip. That is what matters, not the likes, not the, like fake engagement. I don't care. Like, I want to talk to you about this topic because it excites me and I want it to excite you too. So that's why I post these things. I post them for me. I could give a shit if somebody else likes it. I'm sorry that that's my attitude today, but like, it is like I do what I love and that attracts the people that also love those things. And that's my tribe, right? Like those are my people. That's who I want to connect with. If you don't like it, why do I want, what do we have in common? Like maybe we design cool stuff together and maybe that's a link, but like if you're not into my stuff, it's all good. I'm not really doing it for you. I'm doing it for me, because I like it. And that's it. And I challenged myself to do something and I'm gonna friggin' do it. And that's why I do what I do. Like not just Instagram, not just this podcast, like just in general. If I want to do it that day, I'm going to do it that day. And that's it. I don't care what other people have to say about it. And I think that that's a lot of other hesitations that people have. It's like, oh, well, what's that kid from high school going to think when I post this on my Facebook? I don't care. That kid from high school is a loser. So like good for him. I hope he sees it. I hope it inspires him to do something better with his life. But anyway, that my little tangent about just like you got to stay consistent, because I see so much in this industry where it's like people will show up and they got awesome ideas. Like you guys are creative people, but you got to follow through or else like you're not going to get the results. And then half of you are going to go bitch about that. So like I have no sympathy for people that don't follow through with their goals and their dreams. Like you had the opportunity. It was only your opportunity to lose. Go do something about it. So that's where AI is going to help you though. Okay. So if this is you and maybe I'm being a little harsh, but maybe you need to hear it. Sorry. But if this is you where like, you're not a consistent person and you've got great ideas, but like you get busy or you get bored, find something that's not going to get you bored. And if that means talking to AI, talking to ChatGPT, building custom GPTs that help get you to the end goal, do that. So with that all being said, in January, I'm going to be hosting a 1-day, 3-hour workshop. And this is all about marketing, consistency, and being strategic, but also loving what you're doing when you're doing that. So this is not just for interior designers. This is literally for anybody that wants to be consistent with their marketing in the new year. So I've got some Black Friday specials I'll be releasing here next week, but I will tell you about this because I'll leave this open for registration. The workshop's going to be on January 7th. It's going to be from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so it's a 3-hour workshop virtual. And this one, we're going to be basically creating a GPT, like I talked about earlier, not for hashtags, but I'm going to show you how to create a marketing GPT for yourself. So whatever business it is, it doesn't matter if you're an interior designer, it doesn't matter at all. Like you can be any kind of creative or entrepreneur or whatever that is. The fundamentals are always the same when it comes to this type of strategy. You just plug and play what you do and how you do it. So we're going to build a custom marketing GPT. So I will live show you how to do that. I will build my own and I will show you what goes into it, how to train it. You will need to have the $20 a month pro plan for ChatGPT just to get started, which you should be using anyway. Okay, the free version is not doing anything for you in the way that the pro version is. So we're going to be doing that first. So we'll go through GPTs, custom building those, training it on your brand voice, training it on your services, what you do, all of those things, who you do it for. So marketing GPTs first. Okay. And then we're going to be creating and implementing the content calendar. And my screen's above me. So if you're watching me on YouTube, I have to like move my crazy arms on my screen so that I can see when I turn my office around to record this. So we will be then creating and implementing what we basically our marketing GPT creates for us. So like a 30-day marketing plan, we can create that in a matter of minutes after we build this in a spreadsheet that you can download, and then we can fix all of the, the logistics that's in there. So we'll do that first. We'll move it over to Canva, and I will show you how to use Canva and the AI tools. There's like 5 core tools that I'm going to show you to get the ideas that came in that spreadsheet from ChatGPT off of that spreadsheet and off like not just words, but like plug in your actual work, your actual renders, your concept boards, your before and after photos, VR walkthrough tours, whatever you have. You'll probably tell it before you train it what you do and what types of deliverables and imagery you have most of. Then we will actually plug that in, and I will show you in Canva different tools to create the content that you're going to be needing for social media. So that would be carousel posts, that would be reels, that would be video, and then other content, stories, that type of stuff. Once you create one image that's branded, you can just reformat it for like all the different stuff. So I will be showing you all that. Now, if you have used Canva, if you've used marketing GPTs or anything like that before, I bet you're still going to learn something. I have so many just like tips and tricks brewing like constantly, and there's always something new coming out. So hopefully I can teach you something new, even if this is something that you have dabbled in before, or if you are in the daily and you've seen a few of these things. We're new month, we're new updates, new stuff. Also, we're strategically planning for like January, February, March content so that you can like hit the ground running in 2025. That is what this is all about. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then we're also going to be creating emails. So everybody should have some form of an opt-in on your website. So an opt-in is something that a person comes to your website. It's either a digital download, it's a fun style quiz, it's something tangible of value that they might want to take. Maybe you're an Airbnb designer and you've got a checklist for getting started. Maybe that all links to like affiliates over on Amazon for like just miscellaneous stuff that you want to have in an Airbnb. That's a download. In exchange for the value or the fun aspect of a quiz, you are then retaining their information via an email opt-in. So then they're on your email list, and then what happens then? You nurture that email list. You send newsletters. You have maybe a string of emails after they sign up that gives them more value and also just kind of sprinkles in, here's who I am, here's what I do. If I can ever be of assistance, here's how you can find me. So creating and writing those emails, that's something that we will also be building in this workshop. So you can see like, that and the opt-in. So like creating ideas, creating the actual content, and then of course revising it in both Canva and the ideation phase in ChatGPT. So I'm going to be showing you how all these tools work together. Now, ChatGPT and the custom GPT, strictly ideation. Like it's not creating images, it's not creating videos for you. It's giving you all the ideas that you as a human being will then take and bring to fruition. Canva can help with the automation and make that go smoother with the AI technology that's infused inside. If you haven't seen the glow up, highly recommend. I know some people have been critics about like the price increase, but the way I use Canva in my everyday and how it has taken place of like, I don't use Word, I don't use a lot of these other tools that are out there because Canva now does it and it's all inside. Well worth the money. And I'm going to show you why, because I don't think a lot of people truly understand the value of the repurposing of content that you can do in Canva, especially with the AI. So if you're going to spend some money, ChatGPT, $20, Canva, whatever it is, still worth it. Okay. Still worth it. If you're going to have those two things, I mean, for any business, really like any business, those are two incredible programs to have. All right. So the goal here is to keep you consistent. Like what I just said in the whole first half of this, and I know I was harsh, I'm sorry, but some of you need to hear it. And hopefully it lights a spark under your butt so that this new year, I want to see you succeed. I want to see you stay consistent. I want to see you attract the people you are trying to attract. And I'm going to show you how to do that because I'm pretty good at it. Like I just show up. I don't care if you like it, if you don't like it. Let's talk about that because that's engagement, right? So I'm doing it for me, but also I'm doing it because I just love it. And I hope that what you're sharing and what you're doing is because you just freaking love it. And that's why you do this. But if you're not showing up and you're not staying consistent, no one's going to know you love what you do, right? If they don't see you. So let's get an action plan in place for 2025. And I'm going to show you how to cut some corners here with AI. I'll say cut some corners because, some of us just don't like to make content calendars. So like, yeah, that's a shortcut. But in the end, you still got to do work. Like there's still work that needs to be done by you as a human and you as a professional, because you're the only one that knows that information. I didn't even touch on blogging, but blogging, guys, like, not dead. Not dead. So you heard me talk about that last week in the Search GPT app. Perplexity literally yesterday launched a shop feature inside of Perplexity Search. That's kind of a game changer, especially for interior designers, where like sourcing and stuff like that just got a hell of a lot easier. So that's interesting. That's going to be a tool for you. But in the end, these AI search features are now looking at you, at your blogs, and are now sourcing and backlinking when there's relevant information to what somebody's searching on the internet. So you as an authority in this space need to be producing the content to be seen. I swear, if you do not have at least one social media channel, and if you do not have a blog or a vlog, video blog, you will be left behind in this new year. And I don't mean to scare you, but I do mean to scare you, because you will. You will be left behind, because the people that are using AI, you've heard this before, are going to win. We're going to beat you at every single corner, because we can produce more content. We can produce more content, not just on our website, on our social. We are repurposing content, and we're going to beat the people that are not. We're going to beat the people that don't have a blog, that don't have a social media, that don't have a good looking website and offer that is, in line with their audience, with their ideal client. If you're not speaking to your ideal client, if you don't have the services and the price ranges in order, you're not going to win. You're not going to succeed in 2025. And I want you to succeed. So that's why we're doing this workshop, because you can do this. I promise you, if I can do this, you can do this. It's just about knowing that you have to freaking show up. And if you don't know how to show up, I'm going to show you how to show up. Okay, so that's what this workshop is about. I will link it below. I am literally just pre-launching it now. Black Friday sales will be coming out next week, but if you're listening to this right now, I'll let you in on it. I'll put it in the comments in the show notes so you can see what this special is going to be. I'm keeping it affordable, guys. I want everybody to be able to do this, not just interior designers, everybody that just needs help with marketing to stay relevant in 2025. I got you for that. All right. So I will see you next week. And we got episode 34. Woo, top 1% podcast. So next week we got a new episode. I have some really awesome guests lined up. I just haven't, produced all of those yet to be able to release them, but I got some really awesome guests lined up coming your way for the podcast. So you don't have to just hear me rant about what you should be doing for 2025, but hopefully it gives you the kick in the pants that you need. All right. I'll see you guys at the workshop, hopefully, maybe around the daily, where we have daily AI tips and tricks, 30 minutes or less, Monday through Friday. Go implement them after you have your coffee. All right. That's what the daily is all about. That special is also ending at the end of the year. And the prices are going up after my pre-launch special that's going on through December 31st, where you can lock in the Lock It and Leave It ongoing $99 a month rate for the daily. So every month you get about 7 hours of training, which is crazy, for $99. Okay. That's going away on the 31st. So definitely check that one out too. All right. You guys have a great day. Sorry for being a little harsh. I know you needed to hear it. Some of you, those of you that don't, you might have also needed to hear it a little bit too, just to get your mindset right. Sometimes we do need to hear that. All right. Well, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you next week. All right. Bye. Thanks for listening to today's episode of the AI for Interior Designers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and tune in next week for more AI tips for your design business. See you next time.